Let's get Dan Howley into the mix here, who is sitting on some interesting news about Apple.
Yeah, Apple this morning just announced two new products, a new iPad Pro, a new MacBook Air. The iPad Pro starts at $799. It comes in two sizes, and the big to-do with this is that it has a new LiDAR camera. Basically what that is it helps with AR technology. So when you use the device to do things like measure out furniture in your room virtually or take photos that you want to put into a virtual landscape, that's what this is going to assist in. It also has the two sizes, 120 hertz refresh rate on the display, so it's going to be nice and smooth. And get this, there's a new keyboard with a touchpad. So they're saying that this isn't supposed to replace the MacBook Air or any kind of laptop experience. In fact, they're saying that when you actually tap on the touchpad, it's going to have a circle display that you'll end up fiddling with. Sort of different experience from what you might be used to, but hopefully it's interesting, and a new keyboard as well. And then on the Air, it's $999, same price as always, improved processor, better keyboard, and improved performance.
Dan, two quick questions off of this. One, is anybody going to buy these things right now if they're out of work because of the coronavirus? And then secondarily, can they get these products to market?
Yeah, so they're obviously all the stores throughout the world are closed except for those in the greater China region. So they're going to have trouble getting these to consumers, but they should be available through Apple's website. And then there are obviously other retailers that are available that they may be able to jump to. So I think if you're going to be kind of looking for this device, make sure you go on Apple's website first, see what's available, and then definitely go to the likes of Walmart if you can't get it there, Target, Best Buy, etc. Those will probably have it. But yeah, it's an interesting time to launch products like this, but the cycle for development of these things is years. And obviously putting it out a little bit later would have interfered with the later iPhone launch. So I think this was really the time frame that they had to go with.
All right,
hey
Dan
guys,
Howley, good to see you
here. I just want to jump in. Good morning, everybody. I don't know about you, it sort of is comforting to see Apple come out with some new products during this time, right? Things feel a little normal for half a second. But I want to talk about a Dan Ives note that was out this morning. Dan Ives, of course, the analyst over at Wedbush, who has been a longtime bull on Apple. And Brian, we had him on our show just a few days ago, and he was calling Apple a golden opportunity right now in this market. Of course, we've lost a lot more market cap since the last time we spoke to Dan Ives. But I want to ask James McDonald, our market expert here this morning from Hercules Investments, his thoughts on this. James, Dan Ives is lowering his revenue forecast for Apple, saying that the iPhone cycle has been majorly disrupted here. He's looking at a 10 to 14% drop in iPhone revenue alone for 2020 and 2021, also lowering his price target. In your mind, is Apple that golden opportunity amidst all this chaos on Wall Street?
Not yet. Most of the stress models that we've looked at imply at a minimum of 50% pullback from the all-time highs we saw just a couple of weeks ago. And perhaps what we'll do with this virus situation is not just test that level, but go slightly beyond. We're a quantitative research shop in addition to trading and portfolio management. And what I'm looking at is my notes of the max drawdown from peak to trough in 2008. And I've got numbers here ranging from negative 62% to negative 79% across entire sectors. And I've got two sectors, financials and real estate, that went further. Going back to your question about Apple, Apple wasn't as high a market cap as it was back then. So in relative terms, a pullback of great magnitude in Apple is probable. We've also studied Apple during the bull market. When Apple pulls back during the normal corrections along the way of the bull market, it pulls back more. And here's why. Apple is the second most widely held stock among all mutual funds. It is the number one most widely held stock among ETFs. And every portfolio has Apple in it. And so when there's pressure, Apple has produced the second highest cap gains across all of the S&P companies to Amazon. There are strategic reasons why people should let go of their Apple shares now that are different in the past. This has been the second highest producing stock over the last 10 years, and people want to take profits here. And so, unfortunately, I think there's going to be continued pressure on Apple beyond the virus, beyond the change of the bull market.
Yeah, let's get our editor-in-chief, Andy Sower, in here. Andy, I look at Apple, I see a note from Dan Ives. iPhone 5G later this year. That's a big hit. Take a step back. You get the sense nothing is safe in this market right now.
Yeah, I mean, that may be the case, Brian, but if you look at Apple, there's actually a number of interesting things going on here. Let's just talk about e-commerce for a minute. I mean, it's a tragedy for this company. They have to close all these stores outside of China. It's a good thing, of course, they're opening them up back in China, which is maybe sort of a leading indicator. But of course, this is a huge hit when they close down retail, except for the fact that they have e-commerce. So everyone who was going to go to the stores can just go online. Plus, you've got all these people setting up their home offices right now to work from home. It could be as many as 200 to 300 million people are going to be working from home by the end of the month. And Brian, I know yourself, you were looking to go to Best Buy. People need all this equipment. And so this week could be, peak home shopping e-commerce for Apple. So that's number one. And then point number two, they have that subscription revenue, the recurring revenue. I mean, I'm sending them money every month for cloud services for the store and all that. So I wouldn't feel too badly for Apple. And of course, when this thing's over, they're going to be right into the 5G cycle. So, this company is not going away. And I think that one theme we're going to see here is that the strong are going to get stronger coming out of this crisis.
And for Best Buy, I waited about 30 minutes just to get in. They were only letting 30 people in at a time. Top selling items, batteries, laptops, and PCs.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.